and we just quickly cut straight to our newspaper review this morning. And we'll also take stories all around the world this morning. Joining us is Arise news analyst Emmanuel Efeni. It's a pleasure having you, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Efeni.
Good morning, Efeni.
Good morning, Ruben.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, the first lady of the morning show,
Hey.
Tundu.
I love that, first lady.
You can take that to the bank.
And I will.
All these boys, I think we should have a meeting. We should have a meeting in Abeokuta and set down some rules for them.
You can take that to the bank, but I'm not sure if it will not bounce.
Ruben,
I'm going to lay down some rules for you guys,
Let's start with this
as an elder.
Yes, no problem. We are ready. Lead story of this day. Federal government links 587 of Kano's unexplained deaths to COVID-19 pandemic. 315 new cases bring total to 12,801. 4,040 people discharged. 361 dead. Lagos, yes, Lagos again, allays fears of virulent virus. 70% of infected persons can't infect others, says report. We'll look at that report, Ruben. Doctors to begin nationwide strike June 15. Federal government to pay 20 billion naira allowance to health workers. 150 health workers test positive. Let's look at how some other newspapers are reporting the COVID-19 updates. Daily Trust, coronavirus kills 587 persons in Kano in 5 weeks. That's the federal government. Now, the Punch newspaper, 50% of Kano 979 strange deaths caused by coronavirus, says federal government. And of course, the New Telegraph, reps grill PTF chair, ministers, NCDC, DG over COVID-19 funds. If we just come back to this day, Nigeria's newspaper of records, look at how they are reporting these stories. Yes, Lagos, with the new numbers, our premature celebration of drop or decline in Lagos numbers has been laid to rest. 128 new cases in Lagos, up from 38 yesterday. That's on spike, if you will. But this report that says 70% of infected persons can't infect others, effectively countering the report which Aaron just read about asymptomatic patients infecting others. And this result is quite interesting because it's a very recent report. The study showed that most 20% of infected persons are the super spreaders. That 70% of infected persons don't infect others. Only 20% super spreaders, especially in closed environment, actually spreads this disease. So I think that's some cherry report, but again,
I still don't find it cheering, Mr. Efeni.
Well, scientists are still learning a lot.
Yes.
I don't find it cheering because you don't have a flashing neon sign above your head that goes super spreader. So you don't know if you're in the path of a super spreader or not.
Yes.
So while it's a relief that 70%, well, reportedly 70% don't spread the virus, that 20% could still be anybody.
That's true, because how do you even identify a super spreader?
This is the thing.
How do you know this is a super spreader?
This is the thing.
No, a super spreader does not wear a badge. But a super spreader is worn in a closed environment. So we must avoid closed environment. Yes.
The report you are quoting was based on research by a group of epidemiologists.
Yes, in Hong Kong. Yeah, you're right.
And they came up with this conclusion, which is not too far away from the position of Maria Kekove, the technical lead of the WHO on the COVID-19 emergency, who said that asymptomatic persons may not necessarily be super spreaders. But I think the thing to note is that what you find in Hong Kong may be different from what you will find, say, for example, in Northern Europe. And the point made by Rufai earlier, I think, remains valid, that we don't know enough yet. Even the scientists have said whatever they have come up with is not definitive. And I think that we're at a point where people just must continue to follow the guidelines and take responsibility. And, let's hope that the kind of research that is being announced does not become, an incentive for people behaving badly. However, if it were to be true, then, of course, it will be a very serious game changer.
Yeah. So, well, let's just move on to other subjects. The Daily Sun newspaper, Edo, major crisis hits APC Guba primary. Court to hear arguments Thursday. No need for emergency NEC meeting, APC. Well, if you look at the Vanguard newspaper, Edo, confusion. Drama trail legal tussle for APC ticket. Journalists barred as Obaseki, Oshiomhole camps claim contrary decisions. Court adjourns suit to June 11. Furore as Oshiomhole relocates party secretariat. Afegba backs PDP. PDP's Ogbaide Yama. Obaseki okay's Ogbemudia Stadium for PDP primaries. But there's another story in the front page of this day that should add to the mix of Edo politics. Pressure mounts on APC to disqualify Obaseki from governorship race. Party displays aspirants' credentials. Court adjourns suit to stop direct primary. Now, a lot happening ahead of the APC primary in Edo State. Both camps were the Federal High Court in Benin City yesterday, seeking to hold a vantage position, whether direct or indirect primaries. But further hearing slated for June 11. But the fact that Obaseki can be disqualified, going by what this is reporting, his credentials published, 3 credits. He did 4-year program in 3 years at the University of Ibadan. Ruben, is that possible?
Well, the fact that there is laughter in the studio shows you that it's not possible. But I think that, the bigger issue, why is it so difficult for people to have proper certificates and credentials?
It's always an issue.
It's always an issue in Nigerian politics.
Ruben, we did it so easily in those days. So how come people will phony certificates are the one taking the front seat?
If someone were to come up now and say Emmanuel Efeni doesn't have a certificate, at least I will be the first to stand up and say, no, we were in the same class. We finished together. We graduated together. All these mysterious characters in politics in Nigeria whose qualifications, are doubtful. I think it's something we need to address. Yes.
I think it speaks volume of the political class.
It does. It really does.
So where are you, Ruben? Those of you who have good qualifications, why are you taking the back seat?
Exactly. That is
Step forward.
That is the question. When people
Step
don't get
forward.
involved, is it Plato that says if you don't get involved, you're doomed to be ruled by your inferiors?
Yes.
And this is what we're seeing here.
Yes.
But seriously, the Edo APC primaries, I think, is heading for
A showdown.
Chaos.
a showdown. Yes.
It's so chaotic.
Yes.
And INEC has assured us if your primaries are faulty, it is fatal to your ticket. So even if you win by a landslide, too bad.
Well, for Obaseki, the same people who promoted him, pushed him, campaigned for him, are the same people who are bringing out his certificate issues right now. That's Nigerian politics for you. But, well, let's see how it pans out, whether he will be disqualified or not, because they want to avoid, the APC is also trying to avoid the Bayelsa scenario, where they won the victory. Few days before inauguration, it was blown up into the air like smoke. So, well, let's just move on to foreign newspapers. The Daily Express.
Unfortunately, Efeni, we don't have much time left on this segment.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Efeni.
Great.
Thank you.